We're live.
We are live.
We are back. Like a
yes,
recurring
we
nightmare.
are.
Oh, no,
It
like a
is
recurring great thing.
Wednesday.
Yes.
For those who are tuning
September
in,
3rd.
September 3rd. For those who are tuning in and watching, we appreciate it. And also,
Yes,
too,
very much so.
this goes live every Wednesday at 7. And for those who want to watch it live, interact live, ask your questions, put it in the comments. We read them, we answer them. It's not really me, it's more Nick, but you know what I'm saying. But join the Patreon, because this is a new thing we're starting. We have a $1 tier. We'll give you access to everything in the Patreon. But if you do the $5 tier, guess what? You can actually interact with this podcast when we record. You know what I'm saying? We'll have a moment where we'll answer, questions, tips, tricks, techniques, just any insight, nutrition, whatever, like whatever your heart's content, you can ask Nick and we will answer it here live. And we appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
We had one last week, didn't we? We had a question.
Yes, we did.
Oh, what was the question?
A question here is, I want to ask you a question. You often emphasize the importance of staying methodical, but how can we make progress in an organized way without forgetting what we learned earlier? I remember you also mentioning the idea of developing something into second nature. For example, if I have 10 books to study, I should master the first one completely before moving on to the second one. Or would it be better to review them in a rotating manner? If that too much to pass, I tend to forget things. It reminds me of the strength training. I'd really appreciate it if you could tie these concepts together.
Okay, so it kind of depends on how you're trying to learn it. Like if 10 books is a lot of books to learn and read from. Let's start there.
Yes.
If you're taking it for a college class or whatever, you're going to have to learn a little bit each week, because they're going to go step by step in each category and each subject. If you're already kind of have read it and learned it, yes, learn. If you're going to go, if you got 10 books you need to learn, go one at a time. Absolutely. Go through your first one, take notes when you're going through it, write stuff down, kind of like a personal review. So when you finish a chapter, write your own personal review of that chapter. Write it down, and the things that you thought were important enough to remember and use out of that chapter. That'll help you go back and remember what was in that chapter of that book. And if you do that for the whole entire book, it doesn't have to be a long dissertation. Oh, this happened. It and like super complicated, just things that will jar your memory, and the important things that you needed to learn out of that chapter. So I would definitely do it that way. Just read the chapter and then jot down things that you felt was important that you want to apply in some shape or form. That'll be quick notes for you to look up based on that book and what you learned. That's probably the easiest way to do it. And that'll tie into anything. Lifting, you should be keeping a journal. Write down your workouts and then write down how your workouts went. Like if you get a training program from somebody or something, okay. Now, next to that training program, take notes. What worked? What didn't work? Was this too heavy? Was this too hard? Was this too easy? All that stuff. Was your technique correct for the exercise that you were doing? People complain about the way I train back, but I train back for explosiveness. I don't train back for hypertrophy. So it's for explosiveness and doing strongman. So it's very different. So write it down, take notes. Okay, this went well, this didn't go well. And review with yourself for, like 20, it doesn't need to be a long review. Just go over what you did that week for like 15, 20 minutes and what you were satisfied with and what you weren't satisfied with, and readjust goals from there. And then if somebody else wrote the program for you, they should be in contact with you and review that with them. Hey, this is what I think I got right. Hey, this is what I think I got wrong. And then they can help you adjust and move forwards from there. So hopefully those help. There you go.
Yes. And, just even for context, explain what you, we all know what methodical means, but what does that, when you say it, what does it really frame you in thinking?
Well, slow and methodical means you're just going to move through every bit of it as you go. So there's no, it's not about getting from A to Z fast. It's about getting from A to Z thoroughly and not missing anything in between. That's the difference. Most people want to get from A to Z as fast as possible. And so they'll go A, D, S, V, X, and then Z. And they're like, yay. And it's like, no, no, no. Go A to B to C to D and don't worry about the time. Worry about getting it done and getting it completely done and then moving on to the next thing. That's what I mean by slow and methodical. It's not trying to get strong super fast or get knowledgeable super fast. It's about getting knowledgeable, getting strong, and staying strong and doing those things that are a process. Slow and methodical also means your food. That's part of your training. Your rest. That's part of your training. All of that. How you handle the stress in your life. That's being methodical. Methodical means every piece of this. Those things all add into your gain, your succeeding or failing, your gains or your losses. All those things apply. If you're trying to lose weight and get in better shape, well, you're going to have to move a little bit more. You're going to have to sit down a little bit less. I mean, Arnold talks about this a long time ago. If you're trying to lose weight, if you can sleep or sleep less, sleep a little less. If you can lay down or stand up, stand up. If you can stand up or walk, walk. It's just stuff like that. The more and it's the opposite. Once you're done training, if you have a choice to stand or lay down, lay down. If you got a chance to lay down or take a nap, take a nap. If you got a chance to take a nap or sleep, sleep. The rest is going to be it's the same philosophy, just reversed for trying to do different things. If your body's trying to recover from heavy, hard workouts, a little hour nap in the middle of the day is going to actually make you heal a whole heck of a lot more than you think. Your body's going to have that downtime where it's completely downtime. When you're resting, it's completely downtime, and your body's and sleeping, your body's putting itself back together. So those are kind of what I mean about being methodical. There's like every little piece of your life functions around that. Not every single piece, but the things that drive you to be successful, that's what you're trying to do. If you're trying to be the best, beer salesman, if you're trying to be the best lawyer, if you're trying to be the best, doctor, whatever, you're going to methodically go through everything that you do to be the best at it. Everything in your life is going to be set up around it. If your goal is to be the best father, everything in your life is going to be set up around being a good dad. But being a good dad is providing, getting a decent job, making decent money, spending time with your children, teaching them right from wrong, leading by example, stuff like that. And being a good person in front of them. They see that, they learn that from you because they idolize you. So they're going to emulate you and your example as you get older. So it's a big deal.
Yeah, no,
That
that
that's so
definitely
that's
is.
kind of what I'm talking about that.
See, and that's that clarification because, like I said, we all understand what methodical means, but sometimes you have to get a deeper dive
Yeah.
into like the philosophy and mindset because that a lot of people
Oh,
want
for
to
sure.
hear that from you because you know what I'm saying. We say these things, but if we have
Mhm.
a little bit more meaning behind them, it gives
Yeah.
everyone an opportunity to look inside your brain where
Yeah.
all the knowledge that almost everybody that we meet wants. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
My definition of methodical is going to be different than just methodical. It's and that's kind of how I did things. When I focused on strongman, everything in my life was set up around strongman. My fun time wasn't going out on the weekends or doing stuff. It would be spending time with my family, training, and getting enough work done for me to provide for my family. That was it.
Mhm.
Just that plain and simple. And pretty much nearly my whole entire strongman career was spent like that. I was working 50 plus hours a week and then spending time with my family, and the rest of my time was training. That's it.
That's
That's all
it.
I did. I
Yeah.
didn't do a whole lot else. There was no
But
going
that,
out and
that
drinking.
But
every
that's what
once in
got
a
you
blue.
there.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I gave up to get there. You got to be
Yes.
willing to give. You're never just going to be handed something on a silver platter without having to sacrifice in some way, shape, or form. And most of the time, you'll sacrifice is time and where your time's going to be spent. And that's kind of it's like that for anything. If you want to be, a great businessman, your time's going to be spent doing business.
Yep.
And then the rest of it's going to be spent on the rest of what's important in your life. And if you don't do that, you won't have what's important in your life around. It's
Exactly.
that simple.
It is that simple.
So,
It just reminds me of the podcast you were just doing where you were talking
mhm.
about investing in yourself. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I think you were just
Mhm.
on the Shaw class. It was a Shaw
Yeah.
podcast itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That
Clip
was
came
actually
out
quite a while
today.
ago. He
Yeah, it
put the clip
was.
out today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. It
And,
doesn't. Yeah. You have to invest in yourself. I mean, it doesn't do any good to save for retirement if you don't take care of your body. What good is it to retire at 65 and not be able to do anything? I, the goal should be is to do everything at 80 that you could do at 20, and you're going to have a very good quality of life. And if you save a lot of money to be able to do those things, then you should be able to invest in yourself to do those things. And it's not something that you can put off and, I'll do this later. Doesn't work that way.
yeah.
Kind of like saving for retirement. You're not going to do a very good job saving for retirement, you know, at 66 or at 65 or, at 59. It's not going to happen. But,
Yep.
it's the same with your health. You can't all of a sudden go, okay, well, I'm 58 and I haven't done anything. So now I'm going to try to get into the shape where I can do things that 20-year-olds can do. You're going to have, that's going to be a 6 to 8 year fight. Can it be done? Sure. Are you going to be, is it going to cost you a lot of time, effort, and you're going to learn so much more about recovery and stuff like that, because recovery is a lot more difficult as you get older. It's a
Yes, it
lot
is.
easier to maintain when you've been doing it for 40 plus years. And just like a fund that's grown to be millions of dollars off of, I was just talking to my ex boss the other day, and when he graduated college, his dad gave him, I think, like 50 grand. And he says, now turn this into $1 million, and wanted him to invest it. He wasn't going to give him any more money because he didn't.
Yeah.
But he learned how to invest from him and how to pick stock and how to do those things. And he turned that into a whole lot more than that. But it took a long time. He goes, the first million took forever. Then it rolls from that point on. And he's a pretty wise man, and he's not doing too bad. So advice like that, you need to listen to. And so it's
Yep.
the same thing with your body. You need to invest the time into your body as well, not just financially. You have to put
Exactly.
time into your body and your inner self as well. So it makes a big difference, and it's a lot easier to maintain if you've been doing it the whole time.
Yes.
And I'm not
Yes.
telling you to go out and work out 3.5 hours the way I did every single, 4 or 5 days a week. I'm telling you, just go spend an hour on yourself, on your physical well-being, to be physically active and train at least a minimum of 4 days a week.
There you
And
go.
you'll start getting better from there. So,
Exactly.
and
You know,
yeah.
and just off of that, like I said, it's like Nick, you are one of those people who are a check mark on what the new age is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because like
Mhm.
you are, you're 56,
Mhm.
but the thing is you're a different specimen of 56. Because I remember growing up when you were 40 or when you were, let's say 50, you
Mhm.
were already looking old. You were already frail.
Oh,
You
back in
were
the day.
just
Yeah.
back in
Mhm.
the day. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just
You were
it
already
shows you.
starting your down. You
Yeah,
were already starting to
yeah,
drastically break down. You were way overweight. You had all kinds of health problems. You were at the doctor all the time getting some new pill to help you feel better or to live better. And that's not the new thing today. The goal is to be on as little medical stuff as possible. And,
yeah.
muscle mass creates longevity.
It
Period.
does. It's a new thing now.
Period. Yeah, it's not, but it's not the new thing.
It's not.
It's
It's
just
new.
people just now realize it's true,
Yes.
and it's
Yes.
been
That's
sitting here in
more what
front
it
of
is.
us the whole entire time. It's just
Yes.
some people figured out, oh yeah, this isn't BS. I'm going to do this, and they benefit from it. And then you got other people, oh, I can just do this later, and I can not do
Yeah.
this and not do that. And the doctor will take care of me. The doctor
Yeah.
wants you to come back so you make money from
Yeah, well, also too, the doctors, and just from your experience alone,
them.
only tell you when something is about to happen and not
Hmm.
how to prevent it ahead of
Hmm.
time.
Yeah, they don't really sit down and teach you, hey, well, if you eat like this and do this and kind of exercise like this and do these things, yeah, you're going to put some wear on your body, but your quality of life will be 10 times better than other people's quality of life at the same age. And
Yep,
that's the goal. It's to have a good quality of life all the way through, you know, not just when you're young,
exactly. You know,
so.
it's crazy because, like I said, it's one of those things. We talk about it all the time. We see it all the time. It's like
Mhm,
it's understanding. Try
mhm,
like even for myself, I'm on a ton of medication, but I got a whole bunch of other issues that's popping up. Why I have to be on the medication, but I've
mhm,
always worked to get off those medications, and
mhm.
every time I get healthier, I one drops, one comes off, and that's always my goal. But for the
Mhm.
majority of all of us, a lot of our ailments and our problems can be held with diet, exercise, and
Yeah,
also too trying to control that mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because and mindset
yeah.
is a voodoo, not a voodoo
Mm,
word, but it's a taboo word
mm,
where it's
mm.
all people feel it's hokey. But guess what? You know what I'm saying? Look where
Mindset
you're at now.
slash attitude.
Hmm.
Attitude and attitude, mindset, attitude, and behavior. They're all the same thing to a certain degree. But those three things, if you stay in the positive realm for all three of those, your life will be 1,000 times better. If you're bad at all of them, you're going to have nothing but problems. I mean, and the funny thing is ego will drive some of that, really bad. Look at Tariq Hill.
Yep.
He's got that. He's been blessed with everything under the sun, but he's got a bad attitude when he's not on a football field.
Yep.
And when you speed at 100 miles an hour through a construction zone in front of the stadium and then are kind of a jerk when the police pull you over to give you a ticket and ask you to roll down your window and you refuse and you do these things, and then you find yourself sitting on the curb, that's all your fault. That's not the police's fault. You are not supposed to drive 100 miles an hour in front of a stadium. You don't have the right to do that. And that's attitude and behavior, all in a nutshell, sitting right there. And that's also ego because I make $1 million and I run on Sundays and, people like to watch me play football. Okay, great. Awesome. People like to watch you play football. Still doesn't mean you need to act like anybody else. You got to be
Exactly.
held responsible to all the same stuff as everybody else. And having a bad attitude going into anything is going to make it worse. So go in and have a positive attitude. There's been times where I've gotten pulled over in a car and I was driving too fast. I had a great
Yep.
attitude. I'm like, hey man, sorry, my bad. I know I was just trying to get somewhere a little too fast. I should have left earlier. It's my fault. So man, I'm sorry. I know you're having a bad day. Here's my license. Here's my registration. Here's this. And oh, by the way, I have a CCW. So I do have a firearm in the car. And
Exactly.
the police officer looks at me and goes, man, you know what? Please slow down and you have a great day. Okay. Can you slow down for me? Absolutely, sir. And off I went. It's all about your attitude. And then there's been other times where I still have the good attitude and I get written a ticket. But you know what?
Yeah.
He doesn't write it for the full max.
Exactly.
So if I'm sit there and act like a jerk and hey, don't you know who I am and start doing all that stuff, don't act like don't you know who I am. Just be humble as the things happen and have a
Yep.
good attitude when you get through it. And the result is always going to be far better in the end than what it would be if you had a bad attitude. Plain and
Yep.
simple. Everybody has bad days. Everybody has bad days. And it could just be that police officer's bad day, or that other person at work's bad day, or your boss's bad. Somebody's having a bad. Your wife's bad day. Everybody's having a bad day. If you have a positive day, you're going to pick up theirs around them, and it's going to make them feel better about what they're doing, and it might turn their bad day into a good day. So just do that. Just a little bit of being nice. Spread nice things around instead of bad attitudes. And if you can't do that, just understand the person that's going to cause a lot of your misery is the one you're looking at in the mirror.
Yep. Yeah.
So, okay, that's my soapbox. I'm on.
Well, and here's the thing: it's like it's the things that need to be said out loud, and it just is what it is. But let's move on, Nick.
Okay.
We're talking about what have you watched lately? You know what I'm saying? Because we're doing a little movie segment here, or TV show segment.
Yeah, this should be kind of interesting, kind of fun. Well, I watched the F1 movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was that was actually really good. I started getting into kind of F1 a little bit with Netflix. Big shocker.
Oh, you got me into it because I started watching it with you on Netflix.
Yeah, I really liked the way they did the show. I really did. And then so I watched this F1 movie, and it's pretty spectacular all the way around. And it's got a lot of twists, it's got a lot of turns. There's a lot of good things. There's like a lot of interesting stuff in it, and I just really enjoyed watching the movie. I felt it was one of the few movies I watched in a while that I felt it was actually worth the money I spent on seeing. So I was pretty happy with that.
All right, that's good. So without, and like I said, we're not trying to give nothing away, but I think it's Chris Helmsworth and who else?
Well, Brad Pitt. It's Brad Pitt.
Oh, Brad Pitt. It's Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
there you go. They
Brad
almost
Pitt,
look the same, just one's a little older.
A lot older, but that's okay. Yeah. So Brad Pitt does a good job playing an old driver that's coming in, that gets the owner of a team, really needs a good person. He's got a decent rookie driver, but he doesn't have a lot of experience, and he needs to be groomed a little bit. And Brad Pitt's a very seasoned driver that had some catastrophes earlier in his career in F1, and now just kind of travels around racing wherever and he can. I mean, the movie opens and he's racing, I think, the 24 hours in Daytona, I think is what it was.
Okay.
And then they win. He gets in the car and they're in like seventh position, and he gets in the car and they're telling him to drive easy. He's still got a lot of time left, and he's like, just drives around everybody and ends up leading the race, comes and drops the car off for the next guy. He's like, hey, you lose this position, you blow this, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
He's joking with him, but he's like, I'm going to kill you. And then he goes back and he's like, hey, don't wake me up if we don't win. And he goes and lays down and takes a nap. And sure enough, they won. So
that's hilarious.
That's kind of how the movie starts. And then his friend who owns the F1 team that he used to race with needs his help, and asks him to come back to racing. And he kind of says no a few times, and he ends up going back. And it's a pretty good story just all the way around. It was pretty entertaining. And a lot of the moves he pulls and stuff like that is, I don't know if you could do that in real life. I think it was more of a movie, but it still made the movie good.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
Well, let's give this a little scoring here. So we'll try to stick to 1 out of 5 if I remember. But 1 out of 5 stars, what would you give this?
I would probably give it like between 4 and 4.5. It was worth the money.
That's a pretty high score. Yeah, that's piqued my interest to make me watch it.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, I'm going to give this a try, and it was pretty good. I was very satisfied with it. I'll say
there
that.
We go.
So,
there we go. When you're pleasantly surprised with something, it's really good. It's like when we watched American Primeval. I was like, at first I was like, oh, okay, we'll just watch it, and then goddamn, I was like, this is really good.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah, pretty damn good. Yeah, and that always when me and Nick get together, we have a little bit of downtime. He throws something different on, and we end up just completely not doing any work and watching movies.
I'm like, I'm tired. What about you? Yeah, okay. Let's eat some food and watch. Let's actually get some rest for a change.
Exactly.
and then we do
Exactly.
that and stay
It's yeah,
entertained.
that's funny. Oh.
But I saw another movie too,
Oh, what'd you watch?
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. I wanted to watch that. I just haven't had an opportunity for it. So let me know what you
Yeah,
think.
that one I don't think I'd rate it as high as F1, but what I expected to see and what I did see were drastically different. I thought
Okay.
it was I was just like, all right, you know what? I need to watch something new that I haven't seen, and I'm just gonna watch this and we'll see what happens. And it wasn't horrid. It wasn't
Okay.
bad.
Okay. I respect that.
Would
Because the
I
last
rush it?
couple,
Yeah, yeah. This was kind of a little slightly different the way they did things, and they didn't take and warp a whole bunch of
good.
established characters per se.
Yeah.
They had a guy that was, you know, given the serum to, and he became the new Captain America. And it turns
Oh
out
yeah, yeah. Like I said, yeah,
he's just kind of a jerk.
yeah, yep. Which
And
that's
so,
exactly how he was in the comic book.
y- yeah, and gets removed from Captain America.
Yep.
So, he's in it. That was not bad. And
Yep.
then the other characters in it were very similar. I mean, they're okay, not bad, but they
That's
come
it.
together as a team and they start doing stuff, and they go from you know them nearly being killed because people want to, top secret stuff. They want to get rid of them and ditch the whole program, to
Oh yeah.
being moved forwards and saving a lot of people. And it was good. I mean, it wasn't like life changing as far as the story goes, but it was good. It
Yeah.
was an entertaining story. It wasn't bad. And
Yeah.
Century, him being like a lab created
Yeah.
superhero and having a bunch of mental issues, and then going from Century, who's basically, for all intents and purposes, like Superman,
Yeah.
um, and becoming the Void,
Okay.
and people just kind of like disappear and go into the void. He'll like look at them, and there's just like a black spot on the sidewalk where they
Yep.
were, type of thing. So you have to figure out how to deal with him and stuff like that. So it's not bad. It's not bad.
That's
Not,
good.
like I said, it's not something you're gonna like, oh my God. It's not like watching Star Wars for the first time where your
Yeah.
whole life
Is,
just changed.
is that or like the first Avengers movie, or
Yeah, yeah.
anything of those aspects? Because
Right.
and like I said, I am a huge Marvel fan. Always
I
have been,
will, yeah.
heavy into comic books, credit,
I'm in the
comic
I'm a
cards. Exactly.
comic book fan. Not
Yes.
necessarily what,
Heavily.
Disney
Heavily.
is allowed to happen to
Heavily. Yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah. Heavily
But
comic book. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Just like how you said, because
what
the
go ahead.
Disney has to make their approach. They have to make, their things, but they're
Mm,
on a different
mm.
path once again. And so
Well,
hopefully the movies will
it's
be a
the
little bit
hidden
better.
ownership of the Disney. It's the
Yeah.
funds. It's the hidden money in the funds that direct the fund managers to vote, that keep Iger and Kathleen Kennedy in the positions that they're in. I mean, if it was the private individuals that own stock in those companies, they would they would have been fired a long time ago. But
Oh yeah.
the f- yeah. Anyway, this
Yeah,
is a
no, no,
whole
I know
nother
exactly
like
what you're saying.
45
Yeah,
minutes
yeah, we'll
that
go.
I'll
Yeah,
get
we'll go
into.
into a
But
completely different subject on that matter. But
okay,
the Thunderbolts. I've read their comic books.
yep.
I love the whole backstory, and
Hmm.
hopefully, like I said, I always look for Easter eggs to see what they
Hmm.
recall. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the last few of the Marvel movies, I kind of been like, I like them, I watched them, but I could have waited for it to come on TV.
Right, right. So, like I said, Thunderbolts wasn't half bad. It
There we
was. It
go.
was. I was entertained. I wasn't bouncing off the walls, but I wasn't the bum that I spent the money on it either. So F1
Well,
was
there
pretty
we go.
solid. That was good. That was really good.
All right, so if we had to put Thunderbolts on that 1 to 5 scale,
Probably a 3.5,
there you go.
maybe 3 3/4.
There you go, 3 3/4. I can respect that because guess what? You know what I'm saying? That lets you know it's just good enough to recommend. That's what I would say. Because
Mm,
let's
mm,
say even if we define scores, a 3 is a strong recommendation or a recommendation, but anything over that's just a little bit more of a recommendation.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like you won't be totally disappointed if you watch it.
exactly.
It's the easiest way to put it, I think.
All right. Well, one of the things we wanted to cover, we talked about last
Mhm.
time, is covering the Raja incident.
No,
With
yeah,
him and Psycho Stu.
yeah.
I've seen a couple of things. Stu's out of the hospital. I haven't really read
Mhm,
much into it, but
mhm.
let's get your thoughts on that.
Oh, it's just flat out unacceptable. I mean, I he offended him, so it makes it okay for him to just beat the living snot out of him? No. If you're that offended by somebody, walk away. Have some class. Have a brain in your head. And anybody that would justify that that being is okay, they need to be in that position
Yeah.
because you've offended anybody who would justify for that them has offended somebody somewhere.
Yep.
And if that's okay, then it's probably then what about when that's you that's offended somebody like that? And so they're just gonna be able to do that to you, and you're just gonna try to make that okay? It's not okay.
It's not okay.
His life, his livelihood, his family, his physical well-being were never in any danger, ever.
Yep.
The only time that's justified is if you or your family is physically being attacked and you could die.
Yes.
No, you physically attack somebody, it doesn't it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah.
People have the right to defend themselves.
Yep.
That's not it. There was no defense. He wasn't defending himself.
Well, he didn't see
There
it coming.
yeah. So he wasn't defending himself. They're in the ring and they're wrestling and they're doing stuff, and he just decides, I'm mad at this guy. I'm gonna have zero self-control, and I am just gonna pummel this guy till he's unconscious, and then I'm just gonna keep hitting him.
Yeah, and slammed
There-
him head
And
first without any protection for himself. Because
correct.
because here and just is just off the stuff that I know, um, wrestling's a work, and when I mean a
Mhm.
work, it's planned out to a point with
Yeah.
a determined
Mhm.
outcome.
Right.
And typically, if someone's coming from the outside in, as in, like, say, Raja was in on the work, and then
Mhm.
it was a horrible accident, as in, like, the work went wrong. But that wasn't the case here.
Mm.
He was on an app called Kick, and people were egging him on, talking about you got to let him do that. But also understand, hey, you're there as a guest. You're sitting down watching the show, and then you have now crossed the line by literally jumping in on this guy, attacking him, beating him. I believe he lost 7 teeth, was a little bit of a coma. You know what I'm saying? And also, too, wrestlers when they get slammed, they're prepared to take the bump. That's
Yeah,
that's what they
they
call
know
it.
it's coming, yeah,
Yeah,
so you
but
prepare for it.
he was knocked out and then got slammed
Mhm.
head, head bounced off the mat and everything.
Mhm.
And for those who don't know, those rings, it's two by fours running across the bottom. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, with a thin canvas over it.
Yeah, and some plywood, yeah.
Yeah,
So it bounced
exactly.
and it's springy, but he dropped him on the back of his head.
That he did.
And like I said, he had 0 self-control.
Zero.
How can you go through life with 0 self-control? That's a
Yep.
behavior problem, that's a him problem. That's a "I haven't been told no by my father" problem. That's being a bad dad. You raise a kid and you know he's a problem, why did you raise him that way? That solely sits on your head. You're the one that raised him that way. If
Yep.
you'd have told him no and he'd learn no means no, might not be facing prison time.
That's it. Because we still don't
So,
even know what's going to happen from that. Because I know Stu's
no,
been
I know.
released. He released a statement saying that he
We'll still have to prosecute.
is
And if Stu doesn't prosecute just because whatever, I'm sure they'll come to a settlement and stuff like
yeah,
that. But
yeah.
it's just flat out unacceptable. And that should lay squarely, completely on his dad's head because his dad didn't show him what no means and teach him properly what discipline is.
That's it. Restraint.
Restraint. part of being a man is part of being a man is being extremely, extremely dangerous.
Yep.
The best part about being a man, the non-toxic part, is showing restraint.
Exactly.
That's the part that's the difference between a toxic male and a man. You
Yep.
can do all those things that you need to do to protect yourself, your family, and your loved ones. But you don't walk around that way, and
Yep.
you show restraint when you need to show restraint. You can go when you
That's
got
it.
to go, but you show restraint.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Well, like I said, I think we covered that pretty thoroughly just in
okay.
that facet. um, with that being said, and moving to the next subject, we want to get into a little bit of training.
Mhm.
How's your training actually been looking this week?
This week it was pretty good. I did Hatfield squats. I did 500 for 10. I was pretty happy without that till I did it. But I was trying to breathe for a while, and then I did some block pulls. I did 700 for a set of 10. So I stayed kind of on the lighter side. Um,
And he said 700 for the lighter side for those that are listening.
yeah, because I'll usually go up 900 plus on block pulls. Um, and then I did some shrugs. I did the 150-pound dumbbells for a set of 60. And then I did those stiff-legged deadlifts with the dumbbells. I did 2 sets of 10 with the 150s. And then glute ham raises with hyperextensions and an 80-pound kettlebell for added weight. And my hamstrings were pretty
Pretty
wrecked
toasty.
after that. Then I went out in the street and I took my 100-pound rubber tire and dropped 200-pound plates on it, which this street out in front of my new house um, sticks a lot more in my old house.
A little more tackier, huh?
Yeah, so a 300-pound tire would be like a 420-pound tire at the other house. So did a couple lengths with that, got it, blew up my legs even more, and then got some good cardio in with it after that and felt great. It felt
There we
really
go.
good.
And then,
So,
can you give me a little bit of the methodology behind Hatfield squats? Because not too many people use them, but you do see
mhm,
people out there. You just seem to, you use. I always see you do
mhm.
them quite a bit more often.
Yeah, it's fun. You can use it in a couple different ways. One, you can use it on uh, working on getting better depth and still being able to balance yourself. So you can really sit down in a hole and still be in a good position and get out of it. And you can self spot yourself at the same time. So it's got like three basic, big things that are with that. Um, I was working more just to get deeper ranges of motion and work on getting down a little bit lower and then just working volume, for reps with that weight. Because 500 is not super heavy. It's not real light, but it's not super heavy when you're squatting in the eights. It's a decent weight. So or even in the sevens for that matter. Um, yeah, so it was pretty good. I was just trying to get some volume and work on my depth. So
There we
that's what I
go.
use it for. But you can also do it to do heavy singles and overload singles. So say maybe you're squatting 800, well, you can put 850 on there and go down, keep your balance, hit the hole and come out of the hole and get up with just a little bit more weight. And you'll get used to handling that weight. And then when you go to say regular squat like 820, 825, it's going to feel a lot better.
There we go.
Your body will be used to it, type of thing. It's a safe way to overload.
There we go. See, and that's why I asked because, like I said, there's a lot of people out there. They always want to. They want to
Mhm.
peak. They want to go harder, but it's like there's a certain way to There's a certain way to progress, and there's an easy way to progress. You know.
Right, right.
Oh,
So, but one I use it for like reps and getting depth. The other one I use for overload.
there we go.
Then I'll do one. Those I'll kind of rotate around. Like every 3 weeks, I'll do the one for the reps. Every 3 weeks, I'll do one for the heavy single, and then I'll regular squat or Zercher squat in the in betweens on those.
There we go. There we go. And you do the combination of hyperextension and glute hams.
Hmm.
And
It's
here's the
on a
thing.
45-degree machine
Yes.
too. It's not on a regular glute ham
Well,
machine.
and here's the thing.
You can do
Explain
it
the
on
reason, because you are a heavy hamstring training person, I know.
Yeah. Well, when you're deadlifting, a large part of your deadlift is hamstrings. And the stronger your hamstrings are, the stronger your deadlift is. And it's a great way to work the heck out of your hamstrings without overworking your lower back. And it's still going to work your lower back quite a bit too, especially when you get to the extensions. But that being said, it's really ends up focusing on your glutes and on your hamstrings. And it's a nice alternate exercise that won't put a whole lot of active direct pressure on your spine.
There we go.
So it's a good way to work your hamstrings without doing that.
And these are pro tips from Nick Best. So
Yeah.
please
Never
understand
heard of
the
them.
gold that you're hearing right now.
Yeah. No, that
Oh,
one's pretty good. That's a big deal. It really is.
yes, it
Because a
is.
lot of people, their lower back will just get fried from putting like deadlifts and over and over and block pulls and just all the heavy stuff. So you need to find something where you're still going to work a body part that you feel is lagging without putting direct pressure on the vertebra at the same time. So that's a,
Exactly.
that's a great one that I found that does that.
Yeah, and like I said, you do it effortlessly with an 80-pound kettlebell in your hand, and I just be like, all right, Nick, that's what we're doing today.
Well, I guess a couple sets of tendon, that's for sure. So and I make fire by the time I'm done. So my hamstrings and my
Exactly.
glutes are pretty lit up. It's not effortlessly, it just looks that way. Doesn't
Well,
feel
when
that way.
it doesn't feel that way, but you make it look that way.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I
Oh,
appreciate that.
no, you're welcome. All right, let's move on to our last subject here.
Oh boy.
The Rogue Invitational is
Hmm.
coming up. It's going to be in Scotland this year,
Yeah, that's
and
gonna be kind of cool.
very cool. And they've already announced a few athletes showing up. We
Hmm.
have Evan Singleton, who
He's on
is
a tear.
he's on a tear, and I hope he stays on this tear because,
So
goddamn it, if he wins the Rogue and is dialed in like a fucking missile, you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is.
could be sitting in a really interesting spot because if he wins the Rogue, which I think he can,
Yes, I
um,
do too.
and with his mind now, if he wins the Rogue, then there's the Arnold. There's only one left after that.
That's
And
it.
he'll be the second person to win all four.
That's it. If it can be done, I think he can do
Mm.
it.
Oh yeah, well, I definitely think he's got the ability to do it.
Yeah,
It'll
I
be
do.
interesting though to see how this goes. So go ahead, keep going with the rest of the guys. But
Yeah,
I really want to see Evan pull this off. But
exactly.
Trey's in it
Well,
too, so I want to see
yeah,
Trey do
Trey's in
well.
it.
Austin's
Is
in
that it?
it, so
Yep.
it's hard when you got a
Lucas
bunch of
Hatton.
friends that are doing it. Lucas
Yeah,
Hatton's in
well,
it,
that's the thing.
yeah.
You guys are all friends. You know what I'm
And
saying? That's the yeah, yeah.
Lucas is right there too.
Oh yeah,
Lucas,
yeah. He's
couple
on the
mistakes.
precipice of
Mm,
exactly. He's got a few things he's dialing them in too. He's another one of those athletes who consistently works on what he's trying to build. And
mm,
we've seen him. We actually had him on the podcast when he became America's Strongest Man,
yep,
and then we talked to him, and then all of a sudden he had the invitation for World's Strongest Man, but he knew he wasn't prepared, so he didn't accept it. But guess what? He did make it the very next year.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that was a big move because he discussed on what he needed to work on, and I think he really dialed it in.
Hmm. He did clearly.
Yes,
So
and
he's
then
doing pretty good, and he put near one the strongest man on earth. He was right there.
yeah, he
So
was right there. We
um,
have Tom Evans next. All
mm,
right, that's another rookie who won the strongman, the shot classic.
yep,
Got the invite to strongest man in the world,
on earth,
and on Earth. Sorry,
strongest man on
and
earth.
or strongest man on Earth. Get that right.
Don't
Don't get it
you,
wrong.
Brian's gonna
Yeah,
text me,
exactly.
and then I'm gonna text you.
That's it.
Strongest man on earth.
Strongest man on Earth, and
Yeah.
yeah, and then we actually had him on Legends of Iron when we were doing that
Hmm.
podcast.
Hmm.
And just communicating with him, and then he got his World's Strongest Man invite too, and we actually got to see
Hmm.
him perform at that Myrtle Beach performance.
Yeah, that was a lot of
You know what I'm
fun.
saying?
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's pretty good. He got third at the strongest man on earth.
Exactly. You
So
know.
he's getting bigger. He's getting stronger. He's getting better.
Exactly.
So he keeps improving.
Yeah, he does.
He's also going to be somebody who's there's a core now of about 7 or 8 guys that there's a couple that are just a notch better, but there's like 7 or 8 guys. The top 6 or 7 are gonna could anybody could interchange and win,
That's
you
it.
know, till you get to Hooper when he's in shape and
There we
he's
go.
healthy.
And he's dialing it in for himself right now too.
Hmm.
So
And he's coming to
he
this too, isn't
exactly he should be.
he?
Well, it's not
Hmm.
announced yet, but he that I believe he's on that list. And then the
Hmm.
first person who's actually invited was Austin Andrade.
Yep.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
he's a good kid. He's smart and he
Yes,
listens.
yes, he does.
He's that's what I mean. Strongman right now, there's a core of about six of these guys at least that are
Yep,
just unbelievable. They're going to be here and they're going to be battling for the next 5, 10, in
exactly.
some cases, 15 years.
Yep,
If the guys are smart with what they're doing, they can do it a long time. So it's Austin's and then Nick as well. I mean, they're all going to be right there.
exactly.
They're all great guys
They are all. And here's
and
the thing too: is
super
like
talented.
the it's gonna be the Rogue Invitational is gonna be held in uh, Edinburgh, Scotland,
Hmm.
October
Edinburgh.
31st.
Yeah.
Edinburgh. Thank you for
Hmm.
correcting me.
Hmm.
From October 31st to November 2nd. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So they have single tickets. They usually live stream it too.
Yeah.
So, all that information will be in there, for
Hmm.
those who are going to go, those who want to watch, and, those who are interested, because that Rogue Invitational is crazy. I'd love for us to go. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Maybe one of these days we'll get one of those invites.
Yeah,
You
that'd
know
be
what I'm saying?
great.
Be able to Nick do a little commentation, Nick do a little a meet and greet,
Yeah.
all those things, you know what I'm saying? So we can get,
Hmm.
Rogue Invitational, whoever's putting that on, we
Hmm.
just throwing it out there because you never know.
Yeah, no, for sure. I would love to come do
Exactly.
that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Exactly.
It'd be good to see those guys again too.
Yeah. And did you guys, was it Ireland or Scotland? Did you guys went for Strongest Man on Earth?
Strongest man in history.
Or Strongest Man in
Uh,
history? I keep
we
saying
were.
the wrong things today.
It's all right. I love you. Uh, no, we were in Scotland.
Okay.
We went to Braemar and then we went to the bridge and stuff like that. So we're Donald Denny walk with the stones and stuff. So
Exactly.
yeah, we went to
Can you give us a
Scotland.
little bit of backstory on that Denny Stone? Because I know you only did it one time, and Brian kicked its ass. But
Yeah. Well, me doing the Denny stones that day, I didn't think I was going to be able to do them at all. The week before that, we were in England and we did the barrel lift, where both Brian and I went up to over 2,000 pounds, and I messed up my upper back bad. I just felt it give, and it was extremely painful. Yeah, and I had basically 7 days to bathe in DMSO, which
people don't know what DSMO is, but goddamn,
DMSO,
that shit is brutal.
yeah, it'll help you heal faster and gets inflammation out pretty fast. But boy, does it make you stink. Eddie makes no bones in letting me know about it all of the time. But it got me to where I didn't think I was gonna be able to pick him up, and then I picked him up and I got a few steps with him, so I was pretty happy. I would have loved to do those completely healthy. I really would have, but that's okay. I mean, there's another day.
Yeah, exactly it.
So, but it was fun, and Brian went up there and killed it. And the kid that had set the world record like the week before found out we were coming and stayed a whole nother week, and
Yeah.
then tried to go up there and break the record Brian just set like right after we did it.
Oh my
It's just
god.
like, dude, come on, really?
Yeah.
He didn't do it, but
Oh yeah.
no,
Brian is a different breed and a different size human, so you know
oh,
what I'm saying
you
he's gonna
think?
do what Brian's gonna do.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's
but
exactly it.
yeah. So it was really neat getting to be up on that bridge though, because
Oh yeah.
not everybody that tries those things gets to do it on the bridge. Most of them do it down by the house. We
Yeah.
got to do it up on the bridge, and they
Oh,
stopped
see, there we go.
traffic, and
Yeah.
we were very appreciative of everybody, even though that had to sit there and wait for us because they stopped the road. They stopped the traffic on the road going in both directions.
Oh, okay.
So
So
it's
yeah, I didn't know that was a road. I thought it was just a bridge that was there.
No, it's a road that goes over the top of the bridge.
Okay, and okay, so it's daily use. So you guys definitely stopped traffic and was
Yeah,
like, oh,
people
we're
could
doing
not
this
get to
show.
their homes or out away from their homes. Or doing it. We
Oh
were
my
only up
god.
there about 30, 45 minutes. That's why we got there and we literally had almost no time to play with the stuff. We had almost no
Yeah,
time to. I think the nickel stones were there, and we warmed up with those, and then
yeah.
turned and went and just started doing it. Because
That's
we were
all good.
very, we were very, we had to stick to the time schedule. We were on a very strict
Oh yeah,
schedule.
when you're on a TV set, that's just
Hmm.
what it is. Time
Yeah.
is money, literally.
Well, unless you're Black and Abbey Road,
Yeah, there we go.
and Eddie's
Oh,
with you, and the police officer recognizes Eddie, so he stands there and kind of keeps an eye on things. And after that, everybody in the cars quit complaining.
that's it. Well,
But
here's another question for that show.
mhm.
Did you guys was it in Scotland? You guys did the cabers and
Oh yeah, yeah,
the would you
mhm.
guys throw did you guys shock put or
Yeah. We did the Braemar Stone, I
there we go.
believe. See the open or the Braemar? I think it was the Braemar. And then we went and did the caber, and we used the challenge caber, the one that I think two people have flipped ever, and we didn't get to play with it like
Yeah.
before time. We were just trying to pick it up and do it, and then of course I hit myself right between the legs with it and had to take a knee. That
Oh
was
my god.
right on camera for the whole world to
Right.
see.
That's it.
Awesome
Well,
stuff.
I don't think that made it onto camera, or did it make it onto the
Oh,
show?
it made it on the show. Oh yeah, it made it on the show. That
That's
was
it.
that was
I'm gonna
too
be
good for
looking for
them.
that clip now so I can
Yeah.
post it.
Oh, thank you, thank
Oh, you're
you.
welcome. You know what I'm saying?
Yay.
I wouldn't be doing my job. No.
That's true. That's true. You do a very good job. So,
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
mhm.
And
Yeah.
then with that stone, how hard was that stone?
To put them, I'm
Yeah.
horrible at stone put, but Robbie did great with it. Robbie, I think beat everybody with that. He did great with it. Robbie's actually pretty explosive when it comes to like shot put and stuff like that. He did. He killed it with it.
That's
They
it.
were also supposed to throw hammers like the
With the chain.
the 16 pound. It's on a stick.
Okay.
And I think we were supposed to throw the 16-pound one, and there's 16 and 22. I think we were supposed to throw the 16, and I started warming up with it, and all of a sudden we
Yeah.
weren't doing it anymore. I think I let one go a little too far.
Oh.
I like throwing the hammer. It's a
Well,
fun one.
what's funny is like it just recently happened over here by my house, but we actually
Mhm.
have the Highland Games
Mhm.
at one of the biggest events here in Pleasanton in
Mhm.
California. So that maybe next year because they do it every year. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Maybe I'll reach out to the promoter out there and see if we can maybe arrange something where we can actually just show up and
Yeah. Just
if
I think Francis Bredner is part of all that stuff. Just get a hold of Francis.
there we go. You know what I'm saying? I'll
Mhm.
see about getting a hold of him, see
Yeah.
about that for next year because that'd be a cool little thing to do with
Mhm.
you.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Hell
It'd be
yeah.
good to see Francis too because he's a good
There you
dude.
go.
I like
That's what I'm
Francis a
talking
lot.
about. There we go.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to get see if I can find him on social media so I can give him a
Mhm.
message there.
Okay, or I could send him one. I
Oh
got
yeah,
all
yeah.
his stuff.
Send him one, or else you know what I'm saying. Either
But
or.
I appreciate it when you do it because
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
it
No,
helps.
yeah, exactly. It's a little easier for me to do
Mm.
it. Well, Nick, with we covered quite a bit today, and
Mm.
I'm definitely
Yeah.
liking this format a little bit better. We're just
Mm.
having a few ideas and getting these things together because, like I said, we're going through a whole new process for those
Mm.
who are joining us,
Yes.
and we really want questions. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? You guys can easily come in here, add them into the comment section. We'll read them off. You know what I'm saying? Or you could. We have a chat room
Mm.
in the Patreon. So in the Patreon, you join the strongest tier. And when you join that strongest tier, you get access to this live podcast. You get able to ask your questions and we'll answer them. And also too, it's like, what I'm saying?
As
It
best I
adds,
can.
yeah, and it adds a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Also, too, we do have a fully functioning store in there, but we're actually in the process of starting a new store because
Mhm.
it just came to our attention that shipping is ridiculous, and we don't want that for you guys. So we're sorry about that, but the old store will
Good
stay up
catch, bud.
until the new store is done. Exactly,
Mhm.
and we have a new lineup of stickers, shirts,
Mhm.
coffee mugs, stuff like that. You know, what I'm saying even a hat. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So we could, we'll start getting some of that stuff rolled out over here. It takes a little bit of
We'll have a
time, but
bunch of designs coming too, not just what
exactly.
you see up there now. There's gonna be a lot more stuff in there, so
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, no,
it's
there's
gonna
quite
be
a bit in
cool.
there too. I don't know if you had a chance to look at, but all the new designs are in there. So we'll probably have to
Oh,
look at
cool.
those after that. But like I said, this
Sweet.
store is not permanent. It's just there for right now, and we're gonna
Yeah.
put a new one on there. But
Mhm.
Nick, take us out of here.
All right. Well, if you like this, like, share, subscribe, and uh, purchase the Patreon. And as always, train hard, train smart, and be the best you that you can be. And we appreciate you and thank you for your time. People don't have a lot of free time, and for you to spend yours with us doing this, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And thank you, Ben, for taking care of all this stuff.
Ah,
Without you, this
mm.
doesn't happen.
Well, I have fun doing it. So that's the best part.
Me too.
All right, you guys.
You're listening to The Best Experience with Nick Best.